Hey guys, today we have something special. The brand's making new Osight SE in green. Absolutely took them forever to do, but we finally have it. Green! The specific model is going to be a 6 MOA dot. It is still going to feature that side-loading battery tray. It is going to be 7075 aluminum. No charging port right here because it's not the S model. 1 MOA increment adjustment points. And of course, it's going to be the RMSE footprint. So it will directly mount to all RMSE and K-series footprint. And of course, I have it mounted onto my 6RP 365X macro TAC Ops with that 3.7-inch barrel. And of course, it still features that shake awake technology. The cutoff time is going to be 3 minutes for this one though. Now I have been testing this thing and I put roughly about 800 rounds through it so far before this video just to see if it actually does hold as usual. And so far it's actually holding up. I haven't done any tortures to it because I've been saving it for this video. So let's dive in and take a look at how this reticle actually looks. Now in terms of that reticle, it is going to be a 6 MOA dot. So it is going to be nice and clear. There is no blue tint whatsoever with this thing, but there is going to be a slight reddish tint. I think that is so that the green can pop out a little bit more. But other than that, the glass is still going to be nice and crispy and clear. I wanted the MRO version of this thing, but they came out with the 6 MOA first, so obviously I had to try out the 6 MOA first. Hopefully they do come out with the multi-reticle later. So let's just jump into this thing and we're gonna test this thing out and see how well it does. Starting off with a baseline 0, we're just going to shoot a couple nuts real quick and then we're gonna torture it a little. All right, we are at roughly 15 yards here, and we're gonna do a nice rough 0 real quick just to see where we're at. I'm shooting like dog shit today. So 15 yards, that, and then I pulled 2 shots right here, so boo me. But if we ignore those things, it'll be a nice little grouping here, but we'll just call it 3.5 inches or so, okay? And in terms of acquisition, this thing still has the same exact window size as the S and SE models. Really just picks up exactly the same for me, which is very, very nice. Still gonna be completely enclosed on the system. It's not the K-series one, but it is going to be the SE green. So I'm not worried about belly button lint or whatnot, but I do have it on my TAC Ops here. And I usually off-body carry those instead of putting it inside the waistband, but you still get the gist and idea. These things are supposed to be waterproof as well, so we may do a couple tests on those later on. I don't have a gallon of water with me. It's Arizona. Now going through multiple different targets with it, the acquisition is extremely easy with it. That 6 MOA dot, I thought I wouldn't like it that much, but it's growing on me. I usually go with the 2 MOA dots or even the 3 MOA dots. I like something a little bit more fine, but the 6 MOA really picks up a lot faster when you're trying to go for a large center mass body shot.
And boom, Stigma Vision. Now putting them side by side, you will see a massive difference between the two. The red is going to flare out a lot more than the green, even though the green has a 6 MOA dot versus a 3 MOA dot. Both of them have the same brightness setting and both of them are showing completely different things for people with the TISM.
And now we're going to give it a small little drop test just to see if it can actually hold a 0 and take a little beating. Now keep in mind, drop tests are kind of stupid, but it does give user confidence in its ability to hold 0. Most of your EDC firearms are not going to be dropped. If you do drop it, learn to grip it a little bit better, okay? And don't worry, it's a 6RP 365, not a P320. It's not gonna go off. Completely empty, and we're dropping it at 5 feet because I'm 5'2", just a little bit under my headline. Maybe a second one real quick. And a third one for safe measure. Everything seems to be intact. Got a little bit of scarring and scathing here. But here, it looks like the window is completely fine as well. Not too bad though. And let's go see if it actually held 0 or not. All right, back again at 15 yards. Another 5-shot grouping, see how it actually does. All right, at 15 yards, this is our initial grouping. We were able to manage nice center shots and then pulled a couple over this way. However, on our next grouping, we did have roughly about an inch shift from center over this way. That one I pulled myself, I felt that one, but it seems like it shifted roughly about an inch to the right from those drops, which is not terrible. I would have thought that it would have shifted a little bit more if there was going to be any issues, but pretty happy with those results. And that was the last of the 1,000 rounds. And that's it, debrief time. 1,000 rounds on this thing, and it's still perfectly functional. I did get a little bit of scathing up top here, and on the last few magazines, I did open up a small little microfracture right there. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but it's a very, very small one, very, very superficial. So it kind of expanded out just a wee. So I'm probably gonna have to do a little bit of further testing. However, after a couple of those drops, the zero did shift to the right just a wee bit. The mount is perfectly fine. It is still torqued to spec. There's no movement or play in this thing. So it was literally a shift to the right by roughly about an inch at 15 yards. Everything else is fully operational. Still got the shake awake, still functioning. It's still super cleared through here, even with the cracks on the outside diameter of the window, but still functional. Pretty happy about that. I would love this thing to be a multi-reticle option, but they went with the 6 MOA instead, which is okay. Some people prefer the fatter dots. I don't. I'm not necessarily like a chubby chaser or anything like that, you freaks. So overall rating with the cracks, drop tests and all, and that slight shift from 0, I would have to say that this thing gets an 8 out of 10. I probably would have given it a 9 if it didn't shift, but I wouldn't have given it a 10 just mainly because I personally like the MRO versions a lot better. I need a smaller dot for myself. But for someone with astigmatism, this thing probably actually works pretty good. But overall, not too bad. 8 out of 10 for sure. Hey, like, share, comment, subscribe down below. Let me know what you think I should be doing next. If you haven't done so already, follow me on all my socials. And as always, thanks for stopping by.